Hello guys, welcome to the DMS online school. In today's video, we are going to look at the 2025 GCE Science Paper 2 prediction, okay? The long awaited prediction. I know that you have been waiting for this particular prediction, and I have been quite busy in the background trying to compile the topics, analyze which ones are going to be in the 2025 GCE Science Paper 2. So here we are, the waiting is over. So let's just go straight into it. So what to expect? We are going to look at the key topics predicted to be in 2025 GCE Science Paper 2. Now, before we go into the details of this prediction, you just have to remember always that the topics which have been predicted here are a mere prediction. Don't consider this as a complete leakage. No, this is just a mere guide according to the analysis that I've done looking at the past papers from 2020 to 2025. I've mapped and I've discovered topics which are common in these past examination papers, and using that I've been able to generate topics that I consider to be in this year's GCE Science Paper 2 examination. Okay, so let's start. Topic 1. Topic 1 is particulate nature of matter and experimental techniques. Particulate nature of matter and experimental techniques. Okay, concepts. Understand the fundamentals of matter and how to separate it. So this is the core concept under this particular topic. And what to revise now? You have to revise the kinetic theory of matter, like explaining states of matter, diffusion, and Brownian motion. Then also methods for separating mixtures like filtration, chromatography, simple and fractional distillation, and use of a separating funnel. Okay, what else? Identification of common laboratory apparatus. So guys, on this topic, before going in an examination, ensure that you revise these ones here because they have high probability of being in this year's Science Paper 2 examination for GCE. Okay, so next topic is chemical bonding, formula and equations. Chemical bonding, formula and the equation. So the core concept here is how atoms join together and how we represent these chemical changes. That's the core concept under chemical bonding, formula and the equations. How atoms join together and how we represent these chemical changes. Now, what to revise? One, bonding itself. Like be prepared to draw detailed dot and cross diagrams for one ionic compounds. So you need to know how to draw detailed dot and cross diagrams for ionic compounds, e.g. magnesium and the sodium chloride, showing electron transfer. Then two, covalent compounds. So be able to draw covalent compound diagrams, e.g. for water, ammonia and the methane, showing electron sharing. Okay, what also to revise is formulae and equations, like be able to write balanced chemical equations and ionic equations. So before going in an examination, you have to ensure that these concepts here are revised. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is the periodic table. The core concept here, the periodic table is the map of chemistry. Okay, so what you have to be guaranteed is that the periodic table is always there in the science paper 2 at the end of the paper. Okay, so me, I consider putting the periodic table at the end of the paper as also a leakage. Why? Because the periodic table is the map of chemistry. So you have to do what? Understand its structure and the trends it reviews. Okay, so what to revise? Identifying elements as metals or nanometals. So you need to know how to identify elements, which one are metals and which one are nanometals. Okay. Then two, trends across periods and the groups. Which trends should you now look at? atomic radius like reactivity and metallic character, and also be able to revise predicting an element's chemical properties based on its position. So you have to learn the periodic table and be able to predict the element's chemical properties based on its position. Okay, then relating an element's group number to its number of valence electrons and charge on its ion. So these are the things you need to revise on the periodic table. Of course, you need also to look at some of the uses of the elements found on the periodic table, like the noble gases and also the halogens. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is for the more concept and stoichiometry. So the core concept here is that this is the quantitative heart of chemistry. So more concept and stoichiometry is like a backbone or the quantitative heart of chemistry. Okay. Now what to revise here? Calculating relative formula mass, you need to know how to do that. Then calculations involving moles, mass, and the concentration, you need to know these. Then calculating percentage composition, percentage yield, and identifying the limiting reactant. Okay, so we move on to the next topic. So the next topic is metals. Okay, so we have to revise on metals, core concepts, the reactivity series, and the industrial extraction of key metals. So you have to look at the reactivity series and also the industrial extraction of key metals. What to revise here? Extraction prediction, like extraction of iron, zinc, or copper. You have to look at these. Then environmental impact of extraction, so you need to look at also the impact of extracting metals on the environment and also uses. Like you need to know the uses of the metal and its common alloys. Okay. Then from here, we move on to the next topic, which is nanometals, what to revise, the Haber process here, which is the industrial production of ammonia and its formula like that, and also look at raw materials like nitrogen from the fractional distillation of liquid air, hydrogen from the reaction of methane, which is natural gas with steam. Then you need also to look at conditions, the specific conditions for the Haber process, which is high pressure at 450 degrees Celsius temperature, and the catalyst ion, and explaining why they are a compromise between rate, yield, and the cost. You have also to look at applications and environment, like the use of ammonia to make ammonium nitrate fertilizer, and the problem of eutrophication caused by excess fertilization or fertilizer runoff. Then the last topic, which is organic chemistry, what to revise, focus, prediction is alkenes like ethene or alcohols like ethanol. Then for ethene, you need to look at preparation like cracking and also structure like that, and key addition reactions of alkenes like with hydrogen, halogens, and steam and polymerization to form polyethene. For ethanol, you need to look at production, e.g. fermentation and hydration of ethene. Also need to look at uses as fuel or solvent, and key reactions like oxidation to ethanoic acid and esterification. Okay, so guys, we have come to the end of this specific actually prediction. Okay, so if you are overwhelmed to say, am I going to know this? Of course, we are doing topic by topic revision through past papers. And for those interested to join at 120 for physics and chemistry, you need to WhatsApp me on 0977924175, 0977924175. Please don't call, just WhatsApp me or text me, and I'll be able to respond back to you. So if you're interested, ensure to WhatsApp me on this line so that we will be able to join you to the online revision group where all these which I've predicted here are being revised. For now, guys, thank you so much. Bye, and see you in the next prediction for biology. Peace.